Good morning, students. As you know that it is our third part of civics chapter. The title of the chapter is what is democracy and why democracy. And in this final chapter, the chapter actually we have completed. In this video, I am going to explain the questions answer of NCRT book, and in the homework, the same question answer you have to do as far as this part third is concerned. So after the completion of chapter in NCRT book, you are having the first question of the chapter, and it has here is some indications. Here is some indication information about four countries. Based on this information, how you would classify each of these countries? Write democratic, undemocratic, or not sure against each of these. So here are the country A, B, C, D, and they have defined their country's working system, their political system, and after reading these system, in each country you have to categorize them, that country A belong to undemocratic or it belong to a democratic. So this video is basically to make you understood that what is the meaning of the question, and we will do it after every chapter completion, that what is the meaning of the question. Now so first question is that country A, the country A, people who do not accept the country's official religion do not have a right to vote. So what situation is it, and if the country applies that where people who do not accept the country's official religion do not have a right to vote, so is it a democratic? No, it is a undemocratic country. So country A belong to undemocratic country, because here the people are who are not accepting the official religion of a nation, they are not having the right to vote. So it is not democracy, it is, you can say, autocratic rule. So it is undemocratic country. Country A is undemocratic. Country B, the same party in country B, what is the situation? The same party has been winning elections for the last 20 years. For last 20 years, the one political party is continuously winning the election. So you can justify it, the what type of government system they are having. Though if the country that the same party has been winning election for the last 20 years, so it is democracy, it is democratic country. Now country C, ruling party has lost in the last 3 elections. So it is also that ruling party, yes, the people are not ready to choose them. So may be possible that continuously the same party is losing the election. So it is in the favor of democratic. So this situation, the country C is applying the democratic system. That's why country C belong to democratic. Country D, there is no independent election commission. It means it is autocratic rule. So it means it is undemocratic. In this manner you have to understand the language of the question, then you have to write down. It doesn't mean that as far as any subject is, and SST also is not just mugging the things that you will just learn by heart without understanding, so you will not get the exact idea of the question. Now the second question of the chapter, that in NCRT, here is some information about the countries. Based on this information, how would you classify each of these country? Write democratic, undemocratic, under democratic, not sure against each of them. Now country P, the parliament cannot pass a law about the army without the consent of the chief of army, as it has during the Parvez Musharraf in Pakistan. That the parliament is not free in country P, that they cannot pass any law and regulation without the consent, without the discussion of the army chief. So it is known as what is it? It is a democratic or under democratic? It is under democratic. So country P is under democratic. Country Q, the parliament cannot pass a law reducing the powers of judiciary, that parliament is not having the power to reduce the power of the judiciary. So it has done in democracy. So country Q is democratic. Now country R, the country's leader cannot sign any treaty The country's leader cannot sign any treaty with another country without taking permission from its neighboring country. So it is also not democratic, it is under democratic situation. Now country S. All the major economic decisions about the country are taken by the official of the central bank, which the ministers cannot change. So again, that if the political body is not free, and so you can see that it is also a situation of under democratic country. So country S is under democratic. Now the next question. Which of these is not a good argument in favor of democracy and why? There are the situation A, B, C, D, and you have to justify that among them which argument is not in the favor of democracy and why. First situation is people feel free and equal in democracy. Democracy resolve conflict in a better way than others. Another situation, democratic government is more accountable to the people. Democracies are more prosperous than others. Now that among these four statements, what is not good argument in the favor of democracy, and you have to quote why. It is not necessary that democratic country is more prosperous than others. Prosperity of the people depends on of the economy, development, and not on the form of government. We have many examples where the government is democratic but people are not very prosperous, like the country like India. That this argument, democracy are more prosperous than others form of government, is not a good argument in the favor of democracy, as India is a democratic nation for a last so many years, but still the people are not prosperous, people are poor here. So it is not a good argument regarding the democracy, and the reason why it has also given here. Now the next question, each of these statements contains a democratic and under democratic element. Write out the two separately for each statement. First statement, there are three statements and you have to write out what is democratic in this statement and what is under democratic. A minister said that some laws have to be passed by the parliament in order to conform to the legislation decided by the World Trade Organization. First situation, so passing of laws by the parliament is democratic, whereas passing it in conformity to the regulation decided by WTO is undemocratic. Within this one sentence, the half portion is favor in the democracy, where we are a minister said that some laws have to pass by the parliament, where we are giving the importance before implementation of the power or the laws of the parliament. So half sentence is in the favor of democracy, while when the same order has to be gone to the for the confirmation to the by the World Trade Organization, it is this situation is under democratic. So you have to just write down the statement and then you have to underline the portion which is in the favor of democracy, then you have to write down democratic, and the remaining you have to write down under democratic now or undemocratic. The election commission ordered repolling in a constituents where large scale rigging was reported. Now to order repoll in a constituency by the election commission is a democratic, whereas rigging the under democratic. Now women's representation in the parliament has never reached 10%. It is in the favor of democratic country. So women's representation in the parliament has never reached 10%. You will write it democratic. This led women organization to demand 1/3 seats for the women. Women's representation in the parliament has never reached 10%. This is negative. This is under democratic. And this led women organization to demand 1/3 seats for women is democratic. So in this manner you will write down the answer. Now which of another question number 5 of NCERT of the chapter why, what is democracy and why democracy, that which of these is not a valid reason for arguing that there is a lesser possibility of famine in a democratic country. Yes, among these statements you have to select the reason which is not a valid for argument that there is a lesser possibility of female in a democratic nation. Opposition party can draw attention to hunger and starvation. Second, free press can report suffering from famine in different parts of the country. Government fears its defeat in the next elections. People are free to believe in and practice any religion. Now, what is not a valid reason for arguing that there is a lesser possibility of famine in a democratic country? So, people are free to believe in, practice and any religion. This is not a valid reason for the argument of that there is a lesser possibility of famine. Next question. There are 40 villages in a district where the government has made no provision for drinking water. These villagers met and considered many methods for forcing the government to respond their need. Which of these not a democratic method? This is a situation based question that in a village where they are suffering from the drinking water facility, and in a proper channel, these villagers has written an application and a method by which they can inform the government that they are lagging behind in the facility of drinking water. So there are the methods and you have to identify which method is not a democratic method. Filing a case in the courts claiming that water is a part of right to life, boycotting the next election to give message to all parties, organizing public meeting and against the government policy, paying money to government official to get water. First one is also democratic. Boycotting the next election is also democratic. Organizing the public meeting, it is also allowed in the democratic nation. The D portion, that paying money to government official to get water, this is not a democratic method. Paying money to government official to get water is not a democratic method. So this is the correct answer will be option D. Now next question. Write a response to the following arguments against democracy. Now you have to write down the response that which argument is against the democracy. Army is the most disciplined and corruption free organization in the country. Therefore, army should rule in the country according to you. No, as it has held in the time of Parvez Musharraf when he was the army chief and how the country was not happy with his rule. So this is not the right. Rule of the majority means the rule of ignorant people. What we need this rule to the wise even if they are not, small in number. If we want religious leader to guide us in a spiritual matter, why not invite them to guide us in the politics as well? The country should be ruled by religious leader. No. So the three situations are there and you have to respond towards each situation against the arguments against the democracy. Now we are taking the first situation, that if it will be there when army rule is always under democratic, as we have studied in the case of Pakistan. Under this system, people do not enjoy the freedom of speech and expression and are not allowed to criticize the government. Military rule is another name of dictatorship. Moreover, many army men are not disciplined and are corrupt. Although all the army men and the personnel not they are not indisciplined and not all are corrupt, but still army rule is not in the favor of democracy. Now second situation, rule of majority is democratic as it represents the views of all section of the people, and rule by the religious leader is not a democratic. Rule of majority is democratic, yes, that majority people, if the large number of people are supporting one particular political party, it means yes, it goes in the favor of democracy. Rule by the religious leader is not democratic, yes, because here to we are giving the importance to one particular religion, and then again we are following the discrimination on the basis of religion, and India is a secular country. So if we select our political leader on the basis of the religious belief, then it will not a democratic way. It arouses communal feelings among the people, which sometimes lead to communal riots. Yes, there will be communal riots, there will be a dispute and fights in the society. Besides, many religious leaders do not have any experience of administration, and the other thing, that so many religious leaders not having any experience of administration. The another question Question number 8. Are the following statements in keeping with democracy as a value? Why? Now in this question what you have to, that there are these certain statements and is they are so much valid that when we say democracy then we have to give these statements or situation value, and if yes then why. So these are the situations. Father to daughter, it is a situation based question again, that a father is saying to the daughter, I don't want to hear your opinion about your marriage. In our family children marry where the parents tell to them. Yes, now the father is talking with the daughter that I don't want to hear you, that what is your you can say what you want, that with whom you want or when you want to get married, but in our family what we decide for the children for the marriage, the children has to do the same. Now what the daughters reply. Teacher to the students, the different situation with the different people. Teacher is saying to the student, don't disturb my concentration by asking me question in the classroom. Okay, the teacher is saying that when the student is asking question, the teacher is saying that don't disturb me, because during the period when I am taking interest in something or whatever. Now the third situation, employee to the officer. The employee is saying to the officer, our working hours must be reduced according to the law. So you have to identify which is democratic appeal and which is not a democratic appeal. Now, not keeping with democratic value, every citizen has the right to marry according to his or her choice. Forcing a daughter to marry according to one will is under democratic. So parents cannot you can say forced their children if they are up to more than age of 18, that with whom they have to marry, as they can only advise, okay, but they cannot force, because if they force then again it is a under democratic system. Now another situation also under democratic, that we cannot stop the student to ask the question during the you can say school hours. So if we stop the students for asking the question, but definitely question should be valid and it should be based on the lecture which is going in the class, not that the beyond the content such type of question shouldn't be welcomed by the teacher. So if the students want to ask the question regarding the lecture, then definitely he or she will be free and we cannot stop them. If we stop them as a teacher, then it is also under democratic. Now another situation, when the employee is asking about his pay or wages or the working hour, it is democratic, because it's his or her right to ask about the you can say working hours or the you can say salary, etc. Now the ninth question of the chapter. Consider the following facts about a country and decide if you would call it a democracy. Give reason to support your decision. Then again there are the 5 situations and you have to consider it, and then you have to quote that it is democracy or not democracy. All the citizens of the country have right to vote. Elections are held regularly. Definitely it is the first key feature of the democracy. So it is democracy or democratic you can say system. Second situation, the country took loan from international agency. One of the conditions for giving loan was that the government would reduce its expenses on education and health. So again it is not a democracy, it is under democratic. See, people speak more than 7 languages, but education is available only in one language. The language is spoken by 52% people of that country. So again it is not a democracy, as here we are you can say segregating or discriminating the people on the basis of their language. D. Several organizations have given a call for peaceful demonstration and nationwide strikes in the country to oppose these policies. Government has arrested these leaders. No, it is again not a democratic appeal, it is not a democratic action. As in democracy, every single citizen is allowed to do any peaceful demonstration. We can show our you can say demands or our agitation, our anger, but it should be in a peaceful manner. So again the situation D is not democracy, it is under democratic. Situation E. The government owns the radio and television in the country. All the newspapers have to get permission from the government to publish any news about government's policy and protest. Then again, it is not democratic, it is under democratic, where media is not free, because in a democracy media is the fourth pillar of a democratic nation, and it has to be free, and it has to be free and fair to broadcast and to telecast whatever is right and wrong is happening in the society. So again, the fifth situation is also under democratic. Now question number 10. This is the second last question of the chapter, and after that we will start the new chapter. In your homework you have to complete all these questions. As per question I am explaining you the meaning of the question, and you should understand what is the need of the question, and then you have to write down the answer in your notebook. So this part 4th is basically for the explanation of NCERT question and answer discussion, and then you have to do them as a homework. Now, in 2004, a report published in USA pointed to the increasing inequality in that country. Inequality income reflected in the participation of the people in democracy. It also shaped their ability to influence the decision taken by the government. The report highlighted that if an average black family earns 100 million than the income of average white family, that is 162 million, why a white family has 12 times more wealth. White family is having 12 times more wealth than the average black family. But again, there is a discrimination on the basis of races or the skin color, that white families are earning more wealth in the same time, while the black family is having the less average income. In a president's election, nearly 9 out of the 10 individuals in family with income over 75,000 million have voted. These people are in the top of 20% of the population in terms of their income. On the other hand, only 5 people out of the 10 from family with income less than 15,000 million have voted. They are the bottom 20% of the population in terms of their income. This is a situation, case study of a country. About 90% contribution of the political party comes from the rich. This gives them opportunity to express their opinion and concern, which is not available in the to the most citizen. Here again, we are giving the priority in the political field to the rich people. As poor section participate less in the politics, the government does not listen to their concern, coming out poverty, getting job, education, health and care and housing from them. Politicians hear most regularly about the concerns of business and the most rich. Now you have to write an essay on democracy and poverty using the information given in this report, but using example from India. Now the situation is given about a nation without naming that what is happening economically on the basis of the color, skin color, how they are giving the job opportunity, how the black people are poor and white people are rich, and then how the rich people are taking part in the politics in that country. Now you have to write down a essay on democracy and poverty. The title of the essay will be democracy and poverty, and you have to use these information, and you have to attach these information. You have to define the situation of India. This question I want that you people have to do by your own concern, because I want to check your level of understanding towards a situation, and then I will check it that I want this question, it should be by your own effort and your own knowledge. That's why I'm not discussing it, I'm just explaining what is the question all about, how you have to solve. Thank you, take care.